So we've got a new type of Batrep for you today. It's a video slideshow Batrep, and instead of using photos, I'll be using Battle Chronicler images. I've been pretty lazy with taking pictures and video of games lately. I really want to get back to that because I find that the Batreps I can do are, of course, much better when I take good pictures or good video. So we'll get back to that. Anyway, today's video is of a game played on Tuesday at Maple Mart. Dark Age game. Two starter sets, the Outcasts, played by myself, and the Dragyri, owned by me, played by Andrew, as his Brood starter has still not come in. Hopefully it'll come in later this week. We'll see what happens. So here is the game. Alright, so here's the deployment. My Outcasts are at the bottom, and the three Wasteland Warriors and the Brute deploy in the deployment zone, while the Bully and the Scuts use their infiltrate ability to come in later. Andrew's Dragyri start in their most of them start in the deployment zone. There's the Sling Slave, Spear Slave, Soul Warden, Slave Taskmaster up in the back in their deployment zone, and he actually gets to deploy his Shard Slave first, so that stops me from actually having my guys somewhere helpful. So it's turn 1, largely uneventful, as turn 1s often go. Everyone pretty much just moved up. The only real key to this turn was that the Shard Slaves popped out and pooped out some Shard tokens. Some counters blocking my way, so if I did want to go up in between the river and that building, I would have to go through the little minefield that they left and possibly blow up. So we wanted to. That's good on him. Turn 2, and of course this is where things get really crazy and involved and confusing, especially with my lack of good photos. So I apologize for the lack of clarity on this report, but next time I'll make sure I take proper photos and all that, and it'll be a lot clearer and nicer. So I don't know exactly who started, of course, but my Sling Slaves, I think, took shots at the Scuts and the Bully. I don't think they managed to do anything. Maybe one blew himself up, I'm not sure. The Scuts, in return, took their boomerang shots. I think they knocked out one of the Sling Slaves, and then charged in with their extra action. I guess they were close enough. I'm not really sure. I know one of the Scuts died. I think he was to shooting, his own shooting, malfunctioning and just not catching his boomerang and hitting himself in the face, which happens. The Bully, of course, charged in with them, and I know by the end of this little melee, the two Scuts were left in combat, in close assault combat with the two remaining Sling Slaves, and the Bully was free. So not sure exactly how that all worked out. The Soul Warden came down into the river and not took a shot, but cast his spell against the Bully, I believe, doing a wound, possibly, and I think maybe the Soul Warden took a malfunction on his own. I'm not exactly sure. I know he did take a damage at one point, and I know the Bully took a damage at one point, but it may have been later on. But the Soul Warden took the hit. I might be confusing turns 2 and 3, maybe even 4 altogether here, so I do apologize again. Anyway, down at the bottom, the Wasteland Warriors did move up, and they took some shots at the Shard Slaves, which I think one of the Wasteland Warriors killed one of the Shard Slaves, but then another of the Wasteland Warriors blew himself up, of course. So that was no good. The Brute moved up as well, and on the other side, the far left, the Spear Slaves and the Slave Taskmaster all ran up and got over the wall and prepared to charge in next turn. I guess I'll just continue on. There was one more one more full turn after this, so yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the action that happened, especially with the Scuds and the Slaying Slaves and the Soul Warden and everyone, that all happened on the next turn. So anyway, on turn 3 proper, that all happened over there, and in the middle, the Wasteland Warriors took shots at the Spear Slaves. And I think they both missed, and then they ran backwards, luckily just out of range of the Spear Slaves. For scenario purposes, I didn't mention the scenarios, but it doesn't really matter because, well, you'll see why. The Brute also moved up to the left, and then the Spear Slaves charged into the Brood, and the Wasteland Warriors were there, and blah blah blah. The Slave Taskmaster got just one move, one turn or activation away from my deployment zone, which was Andrew's scenario. So at the end of turn 3, we didn't totally finish turn 3 because it came down to initiative on the next turn, and if the Wasteland Warriors, or if I went first, then Outcasts, I could have potentially stopped the Slave Taskmaster, but Andrew did get the initiative, and so of course got his Taskmaster into my deployment zone and won the game. So yeah, it was a good game. It was, bad. I lost, but I did enjoy it. I'm glad we're playing this game a bit more, and I'd like to hopefully play it again next week. I love the scenarios, and I think they work very well, and even with Malifaux, we've been playing a lot more scenarios rather than just killing each other, which is great, and I think games like this do a lot better with scenarios. So hopefully we can play more, and I'll have more for you. So that's the battle, and hope you enjoyed it. Come back soon. Next week I'll for sure have some more and something better, right?